Well, this is a bit of a video that I've been wanting to make now for quite a bit of time, and I've just never really found the right time to do it. But I figure while things are still a little bit quiet, I thought let's have a bit of fun. Now, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to put the Toro Super Recycler, which is a petrol motor, up against the Toro Recycler, which is an electric motor, and we're going to chuck it out in the field. And basically I'll measure it up in a minute. I'm going to mow a certain section of the field, and I'll explain more when we get out there. I just thought it'd be nicer to do this here in the shorter grass rather than me crouching down in the long grass. So these are very similar mowers, but there's a few key differences. Number one, starting with this is a wider cut. So this is a 22-inch cut. This one with the petrol motor is a 21-inch cut. This one obviously is this one here is obviously a battery mower. This one is a petrol mower. This has a pressed steel deck, and this has a more durable alloy deck on it. Underneath the Super Recycler, it also features kickers, which help direct grass back into the blade for further mulching. So this is a far better mower for mulching than a standard recycler, but both do quite a reasonable job. Now, I'm going to this, as I said, this is more for fun. So if you're after science, find another video. It's probably not the one for you. But if you're after a bit of fun and just seeing how capable a battery mower can be, stick around. We'll have a bit of a play. We'll try the side discharge feature. On both mowers have a side discharge. We'll try bagging. I don't know how that's going to go with such tall grass, and we'll also have a bit of fun with mulching. So a bit of a fun, light-hearted video, guys. And yeah, as I said, once spring comes around and we start getting back into some more serious stuff or some more turf sort of stuff, we'll do that. But been wanting to do this for a while. The field out here is ready for a little trim, and I'll jump out there now and I'll explain a little more. Okay, so this is probably about to be a little bit more interesting than I first realized, because the first few steps I took into this, what did I see? Snake. So I did dance a bit of a tune. Now, yeah, I'm sure he's gone by now. So this is the area, it's quite a large area, and what basically happens is along the back of the houses here, a couple of times a year, this gets slashed. I have actually mown this once before on the highest setting. There is one or two rocks, but at the heights, at the 4 inches that we're going to set these mowers at, we're not going to come across those. Now, you can sort of see over there, there's a taller section that doesn't get slashed. If we've got some battery left, we might do one in the longer stuff just to see if it breezes through without any hassles. We'll see. But as you can see, a lot of dead grass here, a lot of sort of, probably not thick, but there's just a lot of material. There's a big, thick green patch behind the camera there, which we'll have a look at. I've got a feeling there's a bit of rubbish in there, so I'll be a bit cautious about that bit, I'm sorry. But yeah, look, I'll quickly measure it out and see how big this area is as well, to give it some context for our battery as well. Okay, so just roughly pacing it out, I've come up with about 300 square meters, which should be quite a reasonable test, and we'll sort of break it up between the two mowers. I might do a few passes with the battery mower, then swap to the petrol. I don't know. Let's just have a play around and see how it goes. Okay, I reckon what I'll do is I'm going to do a perimeter outline cut first, and I'll use the battery one because that's really what we're focusing on. So I'll do an outside perimeter cut so we can get a clearer idea of exactly how much area we've got to mow. Wow, didn't even struggle. It just absolutely butted through it. As I said, the top stuff isn't so thick. Once you get down here, it's a little bit thicker, but with boulders like that floating around here, I'm reluctant to go too much lower than that. I don't want to damage these mowers. I just want to have a bit of fun with them. We'll do a couple of passes now with the Petrol one, just see if we get a different cut quality or anything like that. And then we might try a bit of bagging. Okay, so probably halfway through the little project right now, and I started to feel that there was a little bit more grass coming off with the super recycler than there was the battery mower. So I said in the start that one of them was slightly different. They were both different in the heights within a centimetre of each other. I've dropped the battery mower down one notch. We'll see if that levels things out. What I reckon I'll do now, instead of just playing around bagging long grass, we might just go over this now with both mowers, then come back through and bag up all the clippings at a slightly lower height again. A few of you would be well aware, I've always been a bit critical of Toro's bagging abilities, particularly in the super recycler. They tend to clog. Let's just see if we can replicate that today. This grass is dry. So let's hope it's not an issue. And we'll see how clean we can get this area from what it was to what it is. And if we've got some battery left, let's go a little bit into that real long stuff. Well, both these mowers have done a really good job, all things considered. This is just about flat. It's showing one bar left. So what I'm going to do is, ideally, I'd still like to do the bagging sort of test. Might start bagging from the long grass in, see how far we get. I'll bung it on charge, and we'll continue with the Petrol one, and just sort of see if there's any differences there. See which one might clog first, etc. And we'll drop the heights down that maybe a notch or two again. We don't want to get crazy low because of the rocks and stuff, but let's just play around, see what happens. And we're flat. Well, I've got to be honest, the mowers probably isn't even surprised me. So we've shared the load with both machines, but then again, this has gone back over it again at a lower height, and we've got 3/4 the way through, or probably two-thirds the way through again, and this is where it's finally died, the battery's gone flat. So obviously this is not a typical environment for this sort of mower, but it just goes to show that it ain't no sissy when it comes to tackling some of the harder, stronger stuff. We'll swap over now to the Super Recycler because it was the one traditionally having the bagging issues. This one has had no issues at all collecting. It's done a fantastic job. So we'll give him a rest, we'll put him on charge, and yeah, we'll have a play with the Petrol one. Well, there we have it, guys. I think it just goes to show that battery can tackle the rough stuff when required. Obviously, if I had a backup second battery, would have done this whole job, no issues at all. That's just the way it goes. Obviously, petrol's still going to give you that longer duration and that convenience associated, but for quieter, cleaner, shorter mowing every day, seriously, look, it hasn't struggled. Neither machine stalled once, neither machine had any issues collecting. This is certainly not an advert for Toro in any sense. It's simply just an opinion and having a bit of fun. So I've been wanting to sort of try it on some rough stuff for a while, and I wanted to be sure though when I did that the rough stuff wasn't going to wreck it like rocks and stuff. So, you know, I think I've managed to do that pretty well. Anyway, guys, look, I hope you've enjoyed this. Bit of fun. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you here next time on the Aussie Lawn.